Hi, hello, welcome to my channel Learn More Maths. My name is Vara Kumar. Today we are going to learn about types of sets. So before going to solve problems in exercise 2.3, we must have clear idea about the types of sets. Then only we can understand very easily and we can solve very easily for problems in exercise 2.3 and 2.4. So now we have to learn these types of sets. Empty set, this is the first one. We have empty set or null set. Second one, a universal set and a subset. So these two we have to learn. Disjoint sets, equal sets, finite and infinite sets. So these types of sets we have. Now we have to learn one by one. So first one, what is empty set? Now we have to learn. So now we have to learn the empty set. This is the first set which have in our textbook. Empty set, it is very important. What is an empty set? How can we define? See here, a set which does not contain any element. A set which does not contain any element is called an empty set or a null set or a void set. So the empty set is also called as a null set or a void set. You have to remember, empty set, null set, void set, all are same. So a set which does not contain any element is called a empty set or a null set or a void set. That you have to remember. So in its name says empty, there will be no elements. Empty means there is nothing, no elements. That you have to remember. Empty set is denoted by the symbol phi. Read it is as phi or only braces. There are no elements. So this is the denotation of empty set can be denoted using these symbols. So see here, every time he is asking objective type question on empty set. See here, there is an example question number 1. Which of the following is an empty set? He has given 4 options here. So, A, set of 0, B, set of 5, C, phi is equal to set of 0, D, phi is equal to only braces. So which one is correct here? So here there is one element, that is a 0. So it is not empty set. Here there is one element, it is phi. It is also not an empty set. It is not empty set. It is also not. Here phi is equal to 0. It is also not an empty set. This is the correct one. Phi is equal to only braces, there are no elements. So D is the correct option for this question. So very important student, this is empty set. Next we have to learn about universal set and subset. So now we have to learn about universal set. See here, what is universal set? So by one example you can understand very easily. See here what it is. Suppose there are 5 classes in our school ZPHS Narsimhalapeta from 6th to 10th class. So there are 5 classes, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So in our school. So here each class, let us consider 6th class, 7th class, 8th class, 9th class and 10th class are the 5 sets. So let us consider each class is a set. Then the whole school set, becomes the universal set to the above 5 set. So here school set is the school set. Whole school set becomes the universal set to the individual sets of above 5 classes sets. So that you have to remember. So whole school set is the universal set, whereas 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th are the sets. So that is the universal set. So universal set is denoted by mu or capital U. So like this, universal set is denoted by mu or U. So generally universal set represented by rectangles when we draw the diagrams, Venn diagrams. So while drawing Venn diagrams, we use rectangle to represent a universal set. So here this is about universal set. So next we have to learn about a subset. So next we have to learn about a subset. See here what is a subset and what is the symbol we use to denote the subset. See here capital A is a subset of capital B. If small a is an element of capital A, implies that small a is also an element of B. So if small a is an element of A, that implies small a is also an element of B. Then we can see that capital A is a subset of capital B. See here, this can be written as A is a subset or equal to B. If small a belongs to capital A, that implies small a belongs to capital B, where A comma B are two sets. So if A is an element in A, then it must be an element of B. That is the meaning of this. If small a is an element of capital A, that implies small a must be an element of capital B, then only we can say A is subset or equal to B. That is, so see here, this is the symbol we use. Symbol for subset is this symbol we use to denote subset. Read as is subset to, is subset to. Suppose here how can we read it? See here, A is subset to B. Capital A is subset to B. Read like that. So here I have written one example. So if capital A is equal to set of 0 1 2 and capital B is equal to set of -1 0 1 2 3, then we can say that A is subset to B, since each element of A is also an element of B. So here 0 is an element of A, here 0 is also an element of B. 1 is an element of A, here 1 is also an element of B. 2 is an element of A, here 2 is also an element of B. So here this is very important. Each element of A should present in A and B, then we can say A is subset to B. So here empty set is a subset of every set. Empty set is a subset of every set, and every set is a subset of itself. So here empty set is 5. 5 is a subset of A and 5 is a subset of B also. So not only A, B, every set. So every set is a subset of itself. So here A is a set, A is subset to A only, and here B is there, B is subset to B only. So and one more very important thing you have to remember, if A is subset to B and B is subset to A, that implies and implied by A is equal to B. This is very very important, you have to remember. So if A is subset to B and B is subset to A, that implies A equal to B. Or if A is equal to B, then A is subset to B and B is subset to A. This is very very important relation. This is about a subset. So next we have to learn about disjoint sets. So next we have to learn about disjoint sets. See here, very very important. What are the disjoint sets? Every time is asking for 1 mark question. So if there are no common elements in the sets A and B, then such sets are called disjoint sets. If there are no common elements in the sets A and B, then A and B are called the disjoint sets. So here if A comma B are disjoint sets, then A intersection B is equal to 5. So A intersection B equal to 5 means null set or empty set. So here I have taken an example one. If A is equal to set of 1 2 3 and B is equal to set of -1 comma 0, then here A intersection B equal to 5. So how can we write A intersection B? Only common elements we can write, but here there are no common elements. Since A intersection B equal to 5 here, hence set A and set B are disjoint sets. If here there are no common elements, here 1 is there but not there, 2 is there not there, 3 is there here not there. So A and B are disjoint sets. So representation of disjoint sets using Venn diagram, very important. So this is the Venn diagram of disjoint sets. This is set A and set B. Since there are no common elements, there is no common area. Generally we write like this, but here there are no common area. So generally we write, if there is a common area, generally we write like this. So here, but there is no common, these two are the independent sets. So A, set of A 1 2 3 and a set of B minus 1 0. So here A intersection B equal to 5. This rectangle represents the universal set. So this is a Venn diagram of disjoint sets, very important. So you have to write independent sets to denote disjoint sets. So this is about disjoint sets. So next we have to learn about equal sets. So now next we have to learn about equal sets. So as its name says equal, they must have equal elements. That's all, very simple. So here, if every element in set A belongs to set B and every element in set B belongs to set A, then A and B are called equal sets. So every element in set A belongs to B and every element in set B belongs to A, then we can say A and B are equal sets. So see here, if A is subset to B and B is subset to A, that implies A is equal to B. So by taking one example, you can understand very clearly. So if A is equal to set of A, B, C and B is equal to set of C, A, B. So here we have to observe the elements, whether the elements are equal or not. Here A is there, here also A is there, B is there, B is there, C is there, C is there. So there are equal elements in both the sets. Hence we can write here A is subset to B, B is subset to A and A is equal to B. So if there are equal elements in both the sets, we can say they are equal sets. So next we have to learn finite and infinite sets. So now we have to learn about finite and infinite sets. So see here, what are the finite sets and what are the infinite sets? If there are countable number of elements in a set, then it is called a finite set. If there are countable number of elements in a set, then it is called a finite set. The element must be countable. So see here, if there are countable number of elements in a set, then it is called a finite set. So example number 1, A is equal to set of 1 2 3 4. So we must say the number of elements in the set. So here the elements are countable, 1 2 3 4. There are 4 elements here. So it is a finite set. Example number 2, B is equal to set of 0 1 2 3 dash dash, but here there is lost element up to where 100. So here how many elements are there? We can count 1 2 3. So 1 to 100 are 100 and 0 is there. There are 101 elements in the set. So it is a finite set. Simply the elements must be countable. So we have to say the total number of elements present in the set. If we decide the total number of elements present in the set, then it is a finite set. That you have to remember. So next, infinite set. If there are uncountable number of elements in a set, then it is called an infinite set. So now it is not possible to say the number of elements. So example number 1, set of natural numbers capital N is equal to 1 2 3 4 and so on. So here how many elements are there? You don't say only 4. There are so many elements here. So it is not countable. It is uncountable. Hence it is an infinite set. So example number 2, set of integers I or Z is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 plus or minus 3 and so on. So here also how many elements are there? So it is not possible to say here there are infinity number of elements. We can't say the total number of elements here. Hence these two are infinite sets. So if there are countable number of elements, it is finite. If there are uncountable number of elements, it is infinite. That you have to remember. So if it is finite, we have to say the number of elements. So if it is finite set, we have to say the number of elements. It is known as cardinality of a finite set or the cardinal number of the set. Cardinality of a finite set is the number of elements in a set is called cardinal number of the set or cardinality of a set. The number of elements in a set is called the cardinal number of a set. Example 1, if A is equal to set of -1, 0, 1, 2, then the number of elements in set A equal to how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So number of elements in set A equal to 4. The cardinal number or the cardinality of the set A is denoted by number of A is equal to 4. Just we have to count and denote like this, number of A equal to 4. See here in example 1, here A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then number of A equal to 4 here also. So B equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 dash dash up to 100. Here number of B equal to how much? 101. So 1 to 100 are 100 and 0. 100 plus 1 is 101. Here number of B is equal to 101. So this is known as cardinal number of the set or cardinality of a set. So these are finite and infinite sets. So that's all, student. We have learnt all types of sets. So these are very helpful to do problems in exercise 2.3 and 2.4. So if you learn these types of sets, you can do very easily, you can solve very easily problems in 2.3 and 2.4 exercise. So that's all today's class. In the next class, we will do problems in exercise 2.3. So thanks for watching.